shall we? From a championship win in the backseat of my car to the pre-sale of Call of the Stones. It's been a wild week, y'all. Howdy, howdy, American Texan here, and It's a Wonderful Life. This video series is all about wonders of the first and what it's like week to week living in this crazy world. It's a volatile world. It's a brand new world with a brand new card game. So new, in fact, the second set is just now coming out, and that's what's been on everyone's mind. In the past week, Call of the Stones, that is set 2 for Wonders of the First, was announced for February 2026, and the pre-sale went live last weekend. If you don't know what that was, it's basically a pre-order for the next set, specifically the collector boxes, the collector booster boxes. Those are super limited because each box has about 10 to 11 first edition cards inside, which are only printed one time. So the actual set can be printed for 18 to 24 months. We don't know exactly what the print window is, but the first edition cards, those are printed like once at the beginning, and that's it. Those are going to be the formless foil cards, the OCMs, and the stone foils, as well as the alt art box toppers that you get inside. Going into the weekend, I knew I wanted to get a case, or at least try to get a case. I ended up thinking maybe I should try to get 7 boxes. That way I can have a full set of promos, or at least 7 promo cards if I have duplicates to trade for a full set. And it turns out everyone kind of had the same idea in mind. So much so, there was so much demand that they just could not fulfill everyone's orders. Because remember, this is a first edition print run. It's only going to be run through once. And there are only 99 common OCMs, 75 uncommon OCMs, 50 rare, 25 epic, and 10 mythic OCMs, and of course only 1 stone foil for each card. That means in a 400 card set, even though it's a big number, there are only so many boxes that they can make. Because remember, the dragon boxes also get 4 OCMs per. So there is only so many cards in the card pool that you can run. And even though it seems like we're a smaller community from the Discord, there's still a lot of people out there that want to buy cards. Yes, some of them are flippers. Yes, some of them are just in it to keep some of the good stuff and sell off the paper. I don't know. But the point is, a lot of people wanted in on this set. I think they saw how valuable the first set was, and they want to get on the second set, as well as this being the first celebrity set of Winners of the First. And what happens when demand exceeds supply? Well, leadership has to make some decisions. So it was announced that the pre-orders were through the roof. They increased the amount of allocation, meaning how much they set aside. They originally wanted to do 50% of the production for pre-orders. They upped it to 65%, and it still wasn't enough. So they had to allocate down people's orders, meaning if you wanted 6 boxes, well, if everyone got 6 boxes, people would be left with nothing because there was more people wanting boxes than there were available. So in order to try to get everyone something across the board, some people had to be allocated down, or their order had to be decreased so others could at least get 1 box. And that's what they did. Other card companies, from what I hear, when they do allocations, they say, hey, these people, these distributors, these stores are going to get all the boxes. And if you're just a direct to consumer or just whatever, a small person, we don't have enough, you don't get any. I know our comic shop, they don't do cards that often, but sometimes she wants things and they say you don't order enough, so you're not going to get any. Well, Wonders of the First decided we want everyone to get something. And so that means that some of the bigger orders had to be downsized, some of the medium orders had to be downsized, even some of the smaller orders had to be downsized. That's how many people were going in. And now that we're here today, we found out that pretty much everyone got allocated down. And look, I try to focus on the positive. I don't want to get into a lot of drama. I don't like to get into my emotions too much. And look, a lot of people are not happy with what we got. And I totally understand that. However, I still look at it as, hey, this is a great game, kind of a good problem to have. It means our stuff is even more valuable because even more people want it. Some people are ready to get out of the game. They don't want to play this game. So I get it. Hey, I'm trying to buy a collection right now if I can afford it. And it is what it is. It's not, some people, that's not the game they want to play. And I understand that. There's nothing wrong with that. And so if that's you and you're exiting and this might be the last video you watch, man, it was fun to play with you. It was fun to have you here. Absolutely enjoyed having you. And if you're going to stick around and if you're happy and thankful for at least we got what we got, hey, more power to us, right? Yeah. So we all got allocated down. Everyone's dealing with it in their own unique way. I choose to look at it as, hey, at least we got something, because I think some companies would have just gladly just served all the whales and all the little guys didn't get anything. I'm more on the wonder side. Hey, let's at least make sure everyone gets a box who wanted a box. Some people wanted 3 boxes, they're getting 1 box. Some people wanted a case, they're getting 3 boxes. You may not agree with how they did it, but that's how they did it. And I'm just happy to get what I got. Now, pre-sale stuff aside, that wasn't the only big thing that happened. This weekend, we had the Stone Seeker Society's first sealed tournament. This was an online tournament, and it was really wonderful. In fact, even my wife seemed to be interested in what was happening. Basically, a sealed tournament, if you don't know, is where you get 6 booster packs, and they are opened up for you, or you open them up typically in person, and then you have to build a 30-card deck out of those 6 packs. So you have no idea what you're going to get. You have to build what you need to with just those cards, and then you go and play other people in the same situation and see who can come up or who gets the best combination of luck with what's in the pack, as well as how you're able to play with the cards that you got. And even though in my very first sealed tournament, I did terrible. I was 1-4. I was so bad. I had fun, but man, it was a learning experience. And so I took that and I really dug down into what I did wrong. Talked to a lot of folks that had great decks and had experience with sealed play and other TCGs. And I took that into this tournament. I am pleased to announce that I took first place. And not only that, guys, I took first place in the backseat of my car. I had some thoughts on this. I was taking a walk. Sometimes when I get sleepy during the afternoon, I take a walk, try to get some sun, some vitamin D, get out in nature. So I had some thoughts the day after I won the tournament. I'm going to share that with you here.
So I won a championship. I won a sealed tournament. It was online and it was kind of crazy. So I signed up for the Stone Seekers Championship. And then literally a week later, my wife got free tickets to Six Flags for the whole family with food included, parking included, basically everything included for free from her work. And about a 3-hour, 4-hour drive from where we live. And it was the same weekend as the sealed tournament. I said, let's just give it a shot. And ended up having a bye on the first racket. And then winning my second game, going into the top 4. And I told my wife, I was like, hey, I got to play 2 games tomorrow. Like the day we do Six Flags and drive home the same night with school and work the next day. And I said, look, I will concede. And because, family first. And she said, you can play, but you better win. We tried to schedule the top 4 game in the morning. Didn't work out with my opponent. That's fine. So I ended up playing both matches in the car on the way home with my wife driving. And she should be a passenger princess. I believe the man should always drive, but she drove. We had a full car. We had 2 adults plus me plus 3 kids in the car. And I'm trying to play finals matches for the Steel tournament. And I ended up pulling it out. I'll tell you this. Sealed is a lot of fun. In my first time playing Sealed, I got destroyed. I got demolished. I think I went 1-4. Out of 5 games, I won only 1. And this one, I went into it understanding a little bit more of what I did wrong on my last attempts. I built a couple of practice decks. And I took advantage of the online weekend setup. So, Sealed in person at SCG, for example, is very different from an online tournament. So if you're a little intimidated by doing it in person, like for an afternoon and playing 5 games back to back, definitely jump into online because I think that's exactly what Stone Seeker wants to do, is to give you practice, give you experience. And being online, you can take your time a little bit more. My first Sealed, I had like 10 minutes to put my deck together because I ran late. And then my second one, I made a huge mistake. I just did wonders. I didn't know the pull rates. I didn't know the math on, how to get all the cards you need in your hand and how important a mulligan is. So knowing all that, I was able to kind of know I want at least 14 wonders in my deck, found the synergies I wanted, but then also, you get 72 cards, you only use 30, knowing where my substitutions were. I had time to figure out, okay, when do I want to use Baron versus when do I want to use Technology? When do I want to use Comet Cleaver versus when I want to use Dwarven Bolt? Swapping the 2 out, kind of knowing how I was going to play. And having a key card, knowing that we were all going to basically be spectating each other because the games were played in the Discord. There's a couple of key cards that I kind of actually saved for the end. So I had Stellar Harmony Tea Set, which is one of my favorite cards. It was in my top 4 deck when I played in Houston. And I didn't want to play it. I didn't even want it in my hand just in case someone accidentally saw my hand or, whatever. So I actually didn't even put it in my deck. And then I put it in my deck for the last 2 games. I used it second to last game. I know Capricorn was in the audience. So I just wanted that on his mind. And so also spectating other games, I kind of saw, Richie was really heavily dependent on the Chain Crow. So I substituted some shield wonders that have shields, as well as some ways to deal with the Crow, because he kind of built the same deck I tried to build in Houston, where it's really relying on just a few key wonders. So I knew if I flooded the board if I could flood the board more than he does, and keep the Chained Crow in one realm, that was my best shot. And so that's basically what I did. I subbed out a few more equipments that I have, a few more items and spells, and ran more wonders. And I think that was the key. That was really it. I managed to keep his Crow in the same realm the whole game. His Carno Titan really threw me for a wrap. But again, just having the different, just the right combination. And I think he knew I had the T set, so he was kind of preparing for that mentally, which then took his eye off of what I was really trying to do, which was just take more realms, have more creatures in more realms. And we still, I think it was only a 4-2 game or something like that. So anyway, so all that said, definitely do an online tournament. $20 was a great entry fee, I think. And it was a lot of fun to practice. And then having the weekend to really think about your cards and to watch others, man, you learn so much. There was a couple of guys in there. It was their first time playing a tournament like that or playing games like that. And they had so much fun. And it was so cool to see them continue to play even after they were eliminated. They just wanted to play more with the cards they got. And I think that's so cool. I think that's an awesome experience. So definitely check it out. But that's basically how I think I won. Now, there was obviously luck. There was obviously Richie was distracted with the stuff that he had going on during the championship. He was running a concert or something like that. And I've been there, right? He's got people blowing up his phone. He was not all the way there, but you know what? I'm excited to have that. And I think, Richie boy, I think I've got a winning record against you. So, booyah.
It was a huge week. A lot was going on in Wonders. And let me tell you, it was kind of hard to stay focused on the things that I had to do. It's very easy to get stuck in Discord, get stuck with all the things that are happening, checking your email, thinking about cards, going into cardio and spending a lot of time there. I want to give you a quick word of encouragement, my Be a Hero gaming moment here to keep your priorities. It's very easy to slip and let 30 minutes of deck building and cardio during your lunch break turn into 45 minutes, turn into an hour. So just be on guard, always be on guard. Protect and keep your priorities. Myself, it's very tough. This video is going out late because I got to take care of my family first. So just always be on guard and let your hobbies be your hobbies and don't let it get in the way. Don't let it get in the way of what you should be focused on. So with that said, we got just a few trades this week. So we're going to go over to the tabletop, look at what I got, and I think we're going to rip a pack. All right, so just 2 pieces of mail this week. So I'm going to go ahead and rip a pack just so we have something a little bit extra. I am super excited for this. But first, I bought this. It was a little bit of an impulse buy. I got a really good deal on it. This is from Can Pirate. He ended up accepting a private offer that I made for it from off of eBay, and I'm very excited to own one. This is a Formless Foil Galactic Sovereign Throne. As you can see, the first edition stamp right there. This was a little bit tougher to see the Formless Foil on camera, but I wanted one. I don't know. I saw it and I thought I want that card, and so I made a private offer and he accepted. So really good example of, hey, just because you see it on eBay, it's an important, valuable thing to be a part of the community and get to meet people, because you might recognize a name and they'll be happy to do a private deal, which is where you send them a message and you work out a price and then you send them a PayPal payment. Instead of going through eBay, there's no eBay fees, there's no middleman, so they get more of their money and you get a better offer, because you can usually knock 5 to 10% off the price. So went ahead and got this one. Thank you, Can Pirate. And this one is a huge one. This was a deal I made with D-Line. I was trying to sell some cards for Vegas, and he said, you know what? I may have some cards that are on your list. Do you want me to check? And I said, well, sure, go ahead and check, but I really need cash for Vegas. And he made me this offer, and I thought, I can't pass that up because these are so hard to find right now. And that card is a formless foil mythic Ephus the Lost Sword. You know, I was trying to raise cash for Vegas, but when you see a card that you've been chasing and you only got 6 left, it's hard to say no to this. And it all worked out in the end because I ended up selling other cards and I was able to make bank to go to Vegas on the budget that I wanted to go by selling other cards. So I am glad that I got this. Another formless foil mythic in the bag. This plus Jan recently knocked off my list. So now I think I only have 5 more formless foil mythics and I will be Umbrathine complete on the formless foil rainbow. So thank you, D-Lined or D-Blore, however you want to go by. I am so excited to have this. All right, so like I said, that was the only 2 cards that I got this week. Get them at a good angle here. So I am glad to get those. So let's go ahead and open up a pack. This pack came out of a 2-player starter set. Let's see if I get anything good in this one. And I hate opening these things. There we go. Try not to spin the cards too much. So let's see if we get anything good here. Let's see. Celestium Heights, Nestla Majors, Patch Squibbler, Uncommon Rend. Congrats Milvec for getting the proof on that one. Sky Jelly. All right, there's a Static Shock. Let's see in the foil, any rarity. We got a common foil, Master Ferret. And it's a token pack. But behind that, oh, we just get a rare Hester Dust. Anything in the any common? No, we just get a Pink Spore. That's okay, because I just did my playset checklist, and I am playset almost complete on commons, except I need now 16 more Pink Spore Dream Caps. Because technically you can have 50 Pink Spore Dream Caps in a playset, or in a deck, so you need 50 for your playset. So I need 16 more, and that's just for my first playset. I want to have 2, so I'm going to be hunting down another 50 of these eventually. So yeah, that was an iffy pack, you know. I mean, for a 2-player starter set, I think that's okay. Thank you guys for watching It's a Wonderful Life episode 2. What happened in your life this week with Wonders? Did you play any games? Did you rip any packs? Did you get any cards in the mail? Let's nerd out about Wonders down below in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video. Adios.